Hello guys, my name is Engineer Holiday. We want to discuss parabola and as we list it, God bless you. What is parabola? That is the first question I'm going to ask. What is parabola? A parabola can be defined as the locus of a point equidistant from a fixed point and a fixed line. So that is to say that parabola is defined as a locus of a point that is equidistant from a fixed point and a fixed line. Now let's have a graph like this. In this graph, let's have this is what the origin, and let's say you take a point like this. This is what permit me. This is what a parabola curve. Let's say it's open to the right. Now let's draw a directory. And this directory is having focus here, a focus point that has positive A and 0. Don't forget, if this one is the x-axis and here is the y-axis, here becomes the origin, which is called the vertex. In this case, we call it the vertex. Now, this line is what we call the line of what? Of directories. Now, the distance from here to this place should be equal from here to this place. This is your focus, and this is your directory. So, if from here to here is A, which is what we are taking to be A, and here we also want minus A. And from here to here with minus A, because this is the origin, and this is the negative what? X-axis. So let's take a point along the directories and call it what? Minus A for the x-axis, minus A. Then from here to this place, let's call it Y. Now let's trace a point directly. So here will also be, let's say, S, Y. So S, Y is an arbitrary point on the curve, on the parabolic curve, on the parabola curve. So now let's trace it to this place now, to this what do you call it, to the focus. So if you trace it to the focus, what we are going to have, let me clean this one so that we can see it clearly. Now what we are going to have is that this part from here to this place must be equal to from the point on this parabola to the focus. That means from the point of the parabola to the directrix should be equal from the point to the focus if this is qualified to be called a parabola. And that's what the definition is telling us. And that definition has also led us to what a definition of eccentricity. What is eccentricity? Eccentricity is the ratio. Eccentricity is the ratio of length of focus to the length of directrix. Is what? Length of focus to the length of directrix. So when you are talking about what? Eccentricity definition, you are saying that is the ratio of the length of focus to the length of directrix. So this one is what we call the length of focus from A to B, while from A to C is what we call what? Length of directrix. Length of directrix. Don't forget, from A is equidistant from point C on the directrix and from point A of the focus, from point B of the focus. So A is equidistant from point C of the directrix and from point B of the focus. Now let's also take note of that. That means that eccentricity of a parabola is equal to 1. Eccentricity of a parabola is equal to 1. That signifies the fact that what the length of focus is equal to length of directrix. The length of focus is equal to what? Length of directrix. Now, please, let me indicate something here. Now, don't forget, this y is the same thing as this y. But this x is what? A point on the what? Along the curve. That means you can take any point along the what? The parabola. They are arbitrary points represented by what? X and y. So for this point now, we have taken what? X as our along this particular point A, and y, because if you trace this one down, it's what? Parallel to what? To this what? Y. So they are the same. Now, don't forget that from the definition we have given now, it means that AC, the length AC, should be equal to what? Length AB. They are equal. AB. Length AC equal to length AB. Now, length AB and length AC can be what? Calculated. And that will be what? One we use to calculate is distance between 2 points. Don't forget that distance between 2 points, distance between what? X1, Y1 and X2, Y2 is simply what? Equal to what? Square root of what? X2 minus X1 all square plus Y2 minus Y1 all square. And that's what I want to use for both sides. So what is the length? LD. This one implies that what? L what? D equal to what? LF. Length of focus, length of directrix is equal to length of focus. Length of directrix equal to length of focus. So what do we do now? Square root. Let's see, length of directrix will now be what? X minus A all what? Square. That is to say, what we are doing now is this minus this, then plus y minus y. That means this minus this all square. Must be equal to what? Square root of what? S minus A all square plus what? Y minus 0 all square. So in this case now, what do? We are going to what? Square both sides. When you square both sides, the square root will actually go. So to eliminate the square root, so square both sides. So what we have now, we have what? X. This one minus will give us plus A all square plus what? 0 square, which is already gone. 0 square is 0. So equal to what? The S minus A all square plus what? Y minus 0 all square. So what we want to do is to open up the bracket. Open up the bracket. And for us to open up this, we can say S square plus this times this times this will give us 2ax plus what? A square. This one will give us what? S square minus 2ax plus A square plus Y square. So therefore, let us collect like terms. So if you collect like terms now, what we are going to have is that let all these, or let's make y the subject of formula, the standard equation. So let's bring everything here. We would have s square minus s square plus 2a plus 2as, because this one come here become plus, and come here become minus, plus a square, which is this one, minus a square equal to y square. So this one we eliminate this. This we eliminate this. So we are going to have y square equal to what? 4as, which is the equation of a parabola. This is the equation of a parabola. So we have proved what? The equation of a parabola. So in that case now, in our next video, we are be able to explain the definition of parabola and some other intensive characteristics that make up a parabola, which is during for you to form a parabola, the length of focus must be equal to length of directrix. We have also understand that the eccentricity of a parabola, which is the ratio of focus to ratio of directrix, is equal to 1 during parabola or in forming a parabola. Now, we also understand that during in establishing the equation of a parabola, you are going to ensure that your length of focus is equal to length of directrix, which will lead us to the equation given below as y squared equal to 4as. Don't forget that in this particular one, this is the line of directrix, and the line of directrix from the vertex to the directrix should be equal to from the vertex to the focus point. From the distance from the vertex to the directrix should be equal to from the vertex to the focus. Very important to know that. So if from here to here is 3, here will be -3. That is because you go to fall on the negative direction. So that is one point you must know. Also from here, if you draw a line through the draw a straight line through the directrix downward. From here to this place will be 2a. And from here to this place is also 2a. So the length of of the latus rectum of the parabola, the length of the latus rectum, which is the length of the latus rectum of a parabola, is equal to 4a. So your A, don't forget, your A is your focus. We assume that our A here is our focus. The absolute value of of A. You understand that? The absolute value, it must be in the form of absolute value. Then that means it must not carry negative when you are calculating. But in putting it in a coordinate, it takes the sign or the position of the coordinate in the graph. So if it's plus, you take plus. If it's minus, you take minus. So from here to this place is 2 times absolute value. From here to this place is 2 times the absolute value. So that means the length of focus is equal to the length of the latus rectum equal to 4a. Now another thing again you must understand here is that if you check my coordinate of my directrix, this is the directrix coordinate and this is the focus coordinate. You will notice that it was -a here and here is a, like what I explained. Look at it, from here to here is -a, and that's why the coordinate of the s shows that if you take the points, plot the graph from here to this place, it must be -a, then from here to this place will be y. So that's why the coordinate here is -a, y. And don't forget, the focus lies on the the focus lies along the x-axis. The focus lies along the x-axis. So that means, look at it now, the one that carries square is not good, the focus is not going to lie there. So if I give you a coordinate, we check now the coordinate of the x and the y, because I'm going to on the vertex and the focus. That means if I give the vertex to be 0, 0, and I give the focus to be a, 0, according to this question now, you will notice that there is a variation in the coordinate of the x, while the y remains the same. So any of the coordinates that have an axis that is the same on both the vertex and the focus, you just know that that axis is not where the focus lies. But if I give you something that are different, look at it, the x component have different value different what s value given to us on the vertex and the focus. It means that the focus lies along the what s axis, and in that case the formula becomes y squared minus equal to 4ac. And don't forget that it also open to the right because of this equation. Now if you are giving something like this, now if something like this have been given, let's say s squared equal to 4ay. In this case now, if you look at this equation very well, you will notice that in this case the focus lies on the what? On the y-axis. And if I want to draw a rough sketch of how the parabola will look like, it will be what? Something like this, and it will face up. The vertex will still be what? 0, 0, don't forget. But this time it will face up. Why is it going to? It must enclose the focus. Your parabola curve must enclose the focus. So it's going to be along the y component. While the directrix will be along the negative y direction. So the directrix and the distance from here, if here is 2 meters, here will be what? Negative 2 meters. Don't forget. That is to say the length from the focus to the vertex, which is V, must be equal to from the vertex to the what? To the directrix. They are equal. They must be equal also. And why is it open to the up to capture the what? The y, to make sure it lies along the y component. Now, if I had drawn it like this, for instance, I draw it like this now. Now, if I draw my parabola like this now what you notice is that for this one, the focus will lie along the what? Negative what y-axis, and the vertex will not be, the directrix should not be on the positive y-axis. So in this case, I want to have it as what? L squared equal to minus 4ay. This will be our what? The diagram for this. Don't forget that it must what? This line must be line of symmetry. Line of what? Symmetry to the what? To the parabola. It must, that's what I mean by line of symmetry. It must divide the parabola into what? From here to here must be equal to from here to here. And from here to here must be 2a, from here to here must be 2a, which is 4a that we have gotten. That's how we get what? That 4a, the lattice rectum. And also, they have told you before that if from here to here is a or minus a, as the case may be, here will be equal to what? A. Now, the coordinate of this one will not be minus a, will not be what? 0, minus a here. For this one, it will be what? 0, a. Why this place will not be what? 0, minus a. Because any what s component on the, any s value on the y component is 0. This is y component. So any s on that component must be what? 0. Why is this square minus? Because it fall in what? This is 0 original, this positive s, this what? Positive y, and this negative y. So it will fall on the negative direction. Y here will now be positive a, that means 0, positive a will be your vertex of the directrix. While the length of the directrix will be equal to what? A, like this now. Now, if they give us something like the general equation, which we are going to end this class, the general equation for what? For equation of directrix supposed to be what? S equal to what? Minus a plus s 1. If it lies on what? On the s side, that means the equation is y squared equal to what? 4as. But if you what? If, for example, the s is 0, that means don't forget this a, first of all, must be determined from the focus coordinate. When we want to solve question, I will let you know. The coordinate of the focus is what, like this one is minus, we take it there to be minus. So we'll take it to what? To be minus. But for this particular what do you call it, equation of parabola, there will be a different directories equation. This equation of directories. So now in our next class, what I'm going to do now for this equation is that don't forget that y minus y1 is the general equation equal to 4a divided by s minus s1. So this one is the equation where the vertex is equal to s1 comma y1. The focus is equal to what? It depends on, since it lie on the x-axis, the focus now it should now be a plus what? S1 comma y1. So that is your focus. The focus will be a plus what? S1 comma y1. And we can even draw it. The directories will now be what? Minus a plus what? X1. That will be our direct equation of direction. While the length of the lattice return, the length of the lattice return is equal to 4a. So as we saw along the line, because the next class I'm looking at question on parabola. So in that question, we will not only solve the question, but we will try to present it in a diagram, in a parabola, in a graph. You draw the parabola in a graph and see clearly all the points indicated in the equation. Thank you very much. My name is Engineer Holiday. God bless you. I hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and click that bell button, the notification button on the YouTube channel. Thank you very much. God bless you.